So the United States Deputy Secretary of State has now commended the armed forces of Mali. Let's just say he commended the general Malian public, respectfully. So I quote, the United States Deputy Secretary of State, Christopher Lundu, said, the United States commend the armed forces of Mali in their fight against the Islamic extremist group JNIM. Today, I had an excellent conversation with the Malian Foreign Minister, Abdoulaye Diop, to discuss our shared security interests in the region. Did you hear it? Looking forward to greater cooperation. Like I always said, let me just tell you something. Do you know why they congratulated the Malian armed forces for their fight against the jihadists, right? And they specifically mentioned the JNIM. I just want you to be clear on something. Who created Qaeda, right? We've seen on so many platforms where some former US Marine Special Forces said, oh, we created the Qaeda. We created this force to topple so regime. We created this in so country and asked for Sharia to do this and do this and do this. We trained a false group of fighters in so country for the Al-Qaeda group for so reason. Let me just tell you something, right? JNIM is an Al-Qaeda group. So you already know what the core value of the JNIM is and what their objective is. So now, number one reason why they are congratulating the Malian armed forces is because of the resilience they have been able to show in the face of this gruesome insecurity. Number one, the fuel blockade. They cannot believe how the Malian armed forces have been able to independently, successfully crumple the JNIM. They can't believe it. They can't believe it. Most especially the fuel stranglehold, the energy blockade. They said, oh, Mali's about to paralyze, no more school, no more this, no more that. Oh, Bamako is encircled. Now we are calling on all our citizens to leave and all of that. But you can see, that's the narrative. Like I've always said here, the plan of those people is not it's not because JNIM has any capability to do anything in Mali. The objective is for the people to lose faith, feel extremely hopeless that the president of Mali does not have the capability to manage the crisis and feel like, oh, we are better going back to where we came from than to continue on this road. You can see that Assimi Goïta was extremely quiet. That is how you treat a real moron. Do you get it? Assimi Goïta was quiet. Look at what we're having on the line of contact. And that is why we continue to bring you the legitimate information on what is going on the line of contact. Because and if you study what we bring to you, okay, look at yesterday. Let me tell you something. It's not because they love the Malian state. There was still an attempt to block fuel yesterday, just yesterday in Sikasso. And you saw the overwhelming military firepower from the Malian armed forces. It was a complete decapitation assault. Not because it's just a military term. Go and look at the video properly. It was a decapitation strike assault. Now, see, it was extremely brutal. That was one hell of an operation right there. The Malians bat no eyelid to put those guys away in the mud. Because if you look at those, trophies that were on the ground, it was covered in mud all over the place. So they cannot believe. You know what they do? They sit in a boardroom, they draw map, they strategize. Oh, it should be able to fall if they can block this, if they can block this. Now they are closer to so place. But at the end of the day, on the line of contact, it is very, very unforgiving for these brainwashed elements that they've been able to pay off to sell out their people. So unfortunate, right? This will only foster more solidarity and more unity among the Malian people. Now the Malian people, more than ever, can see what the objective of these people are. Right? Now they are congratulating because it is unbelievable. They could not fathom that the Malian state can come out of this chokehold. And there we go. Now you can see when the Deputy Secretary of State is congratulating. Marco Rubio does not just want to congratulate them directly, but if the Deputy Secretary of State can say it, they dare say it. Absolutely, I tell you, they say it. They are fighting for the global power, for the supremacy of the next era. Because look, the old era is going. We are saying, like I told you, I said by the time, I've said it here before. I said we're in the midst of World War III. And by the time this war between Russia and Ukraine is over, the world order is going to change. Unfortunately, they've overtly tried to destabilize Mali. They've covertly tried it. And it is not working. I told you, I said this JNIM that you're looking at, these are the forces. Like, I don't want to call the name of the organization. I said these are their forces in Africa. They are paid. They are well armed. Captain Ibrahim Traore did not miss the word when he said they called him personally and they told him they want the war to continue. Now the job is not over. You see those guys coming in, oh, I'm a tourist, I'm on all of that. We need to wash out properly, right? They are losing on the line of contact. Like I said, for those that continue to say, oh, Android, when is the war going to end? Mali is big, But when last did you hear the FLA come out in the capacity of which they were operating back in 2023, 2022, they no longer operate in that capacity. It only tells you something. The Malian armed forces have been able to decapitate the capabilities of the FLA to where the FLA can no longer do anything anymore. You see, physically, in terms of human capability, the FLA has been knocked back to the Stone Age. When it comes to the threat they pose to the Malian people, and now that's why you see the FLA, they use a couple FPV, get knocked down. They can't do nothing. They wanted to hit the antenna control or two of the ground control machinery. At the end of the day, you see that they jam one net and they shouted and they ran and all of that. No capability to cause any significant threat anymore. Now they try to use the JNIM. Absolutely failure. A complete failure. And they continue to lose human resources. Because I can guarantee you, you see the JNIM is there too. It's their resources. You see Ukraine, Ukraine and all of that. Captain Ibrahim Traore has now alleged, he publicly confronted Ukraine and he said that Ukraine has been supplying tools to the jihadists in Mali. You can see that's a direct confrontation. We do know that Burkina Faso has almost militarized all its territory. Still counting and still rearming, re-strategizing. Burkina Faso is still re-recruiting. Ladies and gentlemen, it's trap season. You better get strapped in. Because, let me tell you something. We are the indigenous people of this land. We are not worried about, in 1 week we've covered social territory. No. We will continue the military objective. A complete demilitarization of the enemy capability. Logistical capability, financial capability, combat capability. Let me tell you something. Right now, the Malian and the Burkinabes. I'm mentioning these two countries specifically because I'm seeing a certain pattern, right? When you talk about the intelligence, you talk about Niger at a different level. Now, but I'm saying when it comes to logistical capability, right, and the combat capability of these enemies, it has been completely cut to nothing, to pieces in the AES state. The only tool they have left that is about to get strangulated, we're getting to the dying season of this warfare, is the financial capability. And you know what is going to change that, my people? The change of currency from the CFA franc to the Alliance of Sahel state currency, where they will be able to create a way, a financial system that would not permit money laundering. We'll wait for that period, and surely that period will come. We'll wait and see. You can see that Ibrahim Traore has told the NGOs in Burkina Faso to register a bank that they will use for all their transactions. If not, if you go against those rules, you are out. So all their transactions should be done with the state bank. You know why? They'll be able to track all financial transactions. They will definitely know they can use the crypto, they can use a lot of things, but don't worry, we're getting there. We're getting there. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy 72 Android signing out and said, just came back like I never left. I just woke like I overslept. And I said, okay, let me bring this to you. If you enjoyed the video, you can help us. You can support us in any way or form. Some are supporting financially. Every time you hit the like, you support us. Every time you hit the share button, you support us. Every time you hit, the subscribe button, every time you click back on the notification bell icon, you're supporting the Android community. For all the donation, actually better, like a lot of people are actually contributing. I know your names. Look, I know everybody in the Android community. We are 19,000 plus. When I see the names of the Android cores, like, the hardcore Android community members, I know them. Look, if you've commented more than 2 times on this platform, I know your name and I see you. And I really appreciate your efforts. I really see you. The struggle, you guys are assisting in this struggle. Homeland or death will prevail because there is no turning back. We don't have any other home. This is our home. And for our brothers in diaspora, remember, you don't have any other home. You might be a citizen, but, Jimmy doesn't see you different from the guy in Sudan. You know what it is. They call human beings assets. What do you do to assets? You trade with an asset, right? Either for goods or for service or whatsoever. So remember, we only have one home. One true place we can call home. It might not be us today. Might be the kids tomorrow. So we have to set the stage for another generation that is coming to know that, you know what? They put in the work for us to be where we are today. Much love and respect. Thanks for watching, and God bless you.